and the stuff from the newspapers and the magazine, TV and the radio people all wanting to talk to me about what was then the upcoming 40th anniversary of the Woodstock Festival, you know, and I was hiding out from them. I didn't want to talk to them. And they was all asking the same thing. They all said, Arlo, what was it like, man? You know, being at Woodstock, dude. I just told them, I remember getting there. That was it. Not worth setting up an interview for that. You know what I'm saying? I remember because just months before the original festival, I had bought a new checker car. Remember those cars? I used to use them in the big cities sometimes as taxi cabs. And I bought one because you could fit the whole freaking band in one car. I mean, we had a guy with a double bass and a guy with a guitar and all of their stuff and a full set of drums, and that guy, his stuff, their girlfriends, their stuff, me and my stuff. We hadn't even opened up the trunk yet. Those days were gone. I missed the big boats though, you know, and I remember going to Woodstock like that, and we got most of the way there, and then they said, you can't go any further, the roads are shut down, we're going to send you to some little motel or something to get you in from there. I thought, okay. So we drove to the motel. There's a helicopter waiting to take us into the site. And I thought, wow, this is cool. I'd never been in something like that before. I was about 19 or something, you know. So we get in the chopper. The door stays open. The thing takes off. And there was people as far as the eye could see in every direction. And on either side of the open door in the chopper was the New York State Trooper. One was a big John Wayne kind of guy. One was a little Barney Fife kind of guy. And I remember the big one looking down there, and he looked at the little one and said, there's a lot of hippies down there. The little one said, yep. And the first one said, I bet they're doing lots of illegal stuff. The little one said, yep. Then the first one said, well, I'm not going down there nothing, are you? The little one said, nope. And that's when I thought to myself, we're gonna have a pretty good time at this festival. And I was not mistaken. I remember we got there on the first day of that 3-day event, and I thought I was playing on the second day, so I'm walking around backstage, hanging out, you know, like you can imagine. And eventually I walked out in this big crowd, sort of like this. It was on a hill. It was raining, mud, and everything, and I was doing what everybody else was doing. So at some point later that afternoon, I had a serious case of the munchies. Needed something to eat, something to drink. There was nothing. So I thought I'd go backstage. So I went back there. There was nothing there. All they had backstage was 147 cases of champagne they're saving for the end of the event. And by the end of the first evening, that was gone. Don't remember how many cases I might have been responsible for myself. But between that and the other stuff we was doing that day, it came as a surprise when somebody come up and said, Arlo, you got to play now, man. I said, I can't play now, man. I'm not here now, man. I'm coming tomorrow. They said, no, you're here, man. You got to play now, man. I said, I can't play now, man. I can't walk now, man. They said, we don't care about that. Richie Haven's been up playing for hours. There's nobody else. You got to play now, man. And I was too young to realize I could have said no. So I grabbed a big 12-string guitar, walk out on that big stage, and in the middle of the regular stage, they had a circular stage built right in. So while the guys in front was playing, you could set guys up behind them, and when they was done, just twist them around like that. Not be wasting time breaking down the first band, setting up the second one. It was a great idea. I mean, it didn't work, but it was a great idea. And in the middle of the circular stage, they had this big hole for all the cables and mic lines and wires and stuff, and they didn't tell me about the hole. Wasn't looking for the hole. I'm looking at more people I knew I'd ever see again in my life at one time. And I was looking at them like you could back then, each one individually. That's when I remember falling through time and space. And then the most unbelievable thing happened. I moved through the molecular structure of the wood itself. And I rematerialized on the other side of the hole, on stage, almost completely intact. That's my memory of it. Coming in from London from over the pole, flying in a big airliner, chicken flying everywhere around the plane. Could we ever feel much finer? Coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Don't touch my bags if you please, Mr. Customs Man. There's a man that his ticket to Mexico. No, you couldn't look much stranger, walking in the wall with his things and all, smiling, said it was the Lone Ranger. Coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Don't touch my bags if you please, Mr. Customs Man. There's a woman walking on the moving floor, tripping on the escalator. There's a man in the line, she's blowing his mind, thinking that he's already made her. Coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Don't touch my bags if you please, Mr. Customs Man. Coming